Let me guess. You're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com, and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Roger Sutherland, A Healthy Shift. Victorian law enforcement officer, if you don't mind. How many decades? 4. Roger, now these days, as you know, works very closely working with shift workers to thrive and do beautifully. Working shift Roger gives shift workers more energy, and we need some energy. Roger, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Have a look at the healthyshift.com, ahealthyshift.com. If you want to know more about what Roger does. What do you do?
Oh, well, I coach shift workers now, teach them how to thrive, not just survive. It's a really tough time at the moment for our shift working community. Our frontline health and emergency services are really under an awful lot of pressure at the moment. I'm getting so much feedback as to just how hard it is.
Oh, yeah. Is it escalated since the time since you left?
Oh, it's horrendous. It's got really, really bad now as well. The problem is there's no money, and it's not there doesn't seem to be any money for any education. There's no money for any support. Mental health services have been closed down.
So, as a previous caller mentioned, Shane, we're in debt.
Well, we are, but how do we get there? It's through poor management, like really, really poor management.
Well, I think we know how we got there.
Yeah, well, we do, but that's not an excuse. We still have to have emergency services and our frontline health out there, fully funded, fully supported in every way. Like, we can't turn and say, oh, but we've got no money.
Well, we have no money. And the same with the teachers. We'd love to be able to pay the teachers more. God only knows we need more nurses and to look after all this, and the police and the fireys and everybody else involved. But we have no money.
You can't use that excuse.
Well, how do you reverse it? What are we doing?
They've got to be held accountable. If this was a business...
Well, they will be accountable at the next election.
I totally understand that.
Which other way can we hold them accountable?
You can't go to the Chief Commissioner of Police and the head of the ambulance and say, oh, I'm sorry, but we've just got no money now. You just got to make do. We are destroying police officers. And when I mean destroying them, we're destroying them mentally.
But, Roger, let's assume for a moment that you were appointed the head of the police department.
Yeah.
And your role is to do the very best, is it not, for the police department?
Yeah, but you've been given a budget, and that budget has another $50 million taken out of it. Oh, let me just raise this point with you, and I think it's a really important point. How hard do you think it is for the police officers that are out there, away from their own families, working nights, working their days, getting absolutely slaughtered on the front line at the moment in every way, to then find out that our Premier, the allegation is that there's $15 billion, $15,000 million has gone to corruption.
Well and truly documented.
Yeah, it's well and truly documented. Well, sorry, we haven't got any money. Now, what really infuriates me even more is we turn around because we don't have a cost of living crisis. We've got a cost of government spending crisis at the moment. Now, we turned around. The Premier comes out yesterday and goes, here's this free public transport for you. No, it is not free. We are paying for it. We have paid for that. Through our taxes and through everything that we're putting in, we have paid for that. It's like all this free money that was given out through COVID. We're still paying for that.
And we'll be paying that for you and I won't be here, and it still won't be paid.
No, that's right. And it'll be two generations on.
Our children won't
But they stand there and they make out like, it's free money. And the saddest thing is the people that rely on that free money are the ones that are not out there earning it. That's one of the biggest problems. They're not out there earning it, so they will continue to vote the people that are handing them free money back in. That's a massive issue. And the preferential votes will go in there. People need to be very careful with this election. Very, very careful.
Lots of texts coming in. Just had a message for Chris. The Nazi Party were not Muslims, so when we generalise in all groups, it can be dangerous. Good point there from Michael. Thank you for highlighting that. Another one, $27 billion in the black. Under Howard Costello, and then along came Kevin 07. And it all went pear-shaped from there, says Bruce of Baronia. Another one says, for goodness sake, Shane, just be quiet, or words to that effect. It's probably a way of tidying it up. Over 300 million Muslims up the top of Australia in Indonesia. Well, yes, there may be. So again, I respectfully ask text ending in 713, given that there is, would you say 300 million up there in Indonesia, what do you do about that? I mean, why is that even a consideration? What are you suggesting that should be done, or should anything be done?
Have a Lamington drive.
Because have a Lamington drive.
Well, that's what there's a text there. Have a Lamington drive to pay off the government debt. Thanks,
pay
Jan.
off the debt. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. We got other things we'll talk about. What do you want to talk about? Blue light. The blue light in here, it's a bit dull and boring at the moment. I've turned everything down just because I knew you were coming in.
Yeah, I know, but I'm up and about, you see, this morning, so I want the blue light this morning. That's why I don't wear my filtered lenses when I come in first thing.
Yeah, so you've got your different glasses on.
Well, I don't wear the filtered lenses when I come in because I now want the blue light to wake up and get going. I don't want this high energy visible, but the bottom line is I'm getting on with my day now, so I'm awake and I will stay awake now for the rest of the day.
And you don't have a nap later?
Oh, no.
No napping?
Oh, there'll be a poppy nap.
There will be a nap.
Oh, there'll be a poppy nap.
Don't you love that nap?
That's the best nap.
And people sometimes make you feel guilty in your family because you have a nap?
No.
Nobody said,
never. Most of the time I'm sent.
Sent for a nap. You're told, settle down, go and have a nap.
I think it's nap time is what I'm told.
Roger Sutherland is here. Come and join us, 133693. Lots of texts, keep them coming. The ABC want a pay rise. So as part of that budget, do we then say, no?
Do we need the ABC?
Oh, there's a talk point just there. So you would, as part of your premiership or your prime ministership, you would close down the ABC?
Yeah, I would. Yep.
Wow. Come and have your say. Anything you want to raise on the program, feel free. Roger Sutherland is here from A Healthy Shift, 133 693 882. 133 882 is for our listeners in Perth. 133 693 for rest of $767 billion approximately, according to the information that Jace just checked for me. $767 billion debt.
Incredible. That's 767,000 million.
Manageable.
Did you hear on 3AW here in Melbourne, Sly of the Underworld spoke about if you got $10 notes and laid $10 notes end to end for the $15 billion debt, right, in this state, it would go round the globe 4.5 times.
Yeah, a lot of money. Not disputing that. But
where did it go? What do we get for it?
What do
we get for it?
Oh, well, we've got some nice tunnels.
That no one uses. Did we ask for those? Did we want them? Wouldn't we be better off putting that money into police and emergency
that all may
services?
come together in the fullness of time as things expand and, people start to use those things and they will become viable. I mean, you wouldn't close them down now, would you? You wouldn't bury them again.
No, we've now got them. Yeah, no, I understand that. But the thing is, we are spending money in area. I've used this analogy over and over again. I'm little Johnny and I'm at home and I ask mum and dad for new school shoes and they tell me that they can't afford them. We're sorry kid, there's no money. We've got nothing at all. So you've got no money for school shoes at all.
But mum and dad couldn't buy our school. Mum and dad couldn't buy our football boots in 1967. So things haven't changed that much.
Did you take the stops out and wear them to school?
Yeah, I didn't have footy boots at school.
Yeah. I understand that.
So
listen to what I'm saying.
Changed?
I never you never let me finish. All right. The point that I make here is they're telling little Johnny, no, you can't have the school shoes. You can't have them. But I need the new school shoes. And next minute they've installed a 60-inch colour TV in their bedroom. Now that's what we're dealing with in this state.
And how much of that is on debt?
Well, it would probably most likely be on debt, or or on what do you call it, afterpay, or on latitude, or whatever it is that they use to do that. So it's on debt, but they won't buy the school shoes on debt. Got to remember, is it more important for them to have a colour TV in the bedroom, which the rest of the house gets no benefit out of, or is it more important for little Johnny to have school shoes at school? Now, I use this as an analogy all the time purely because we are in a position now where we have no money for nurses, no money for school teaching. We have debt up to our ears, so there's nothing to put into Ambulance Victoria. There's nothing to put into Victoria Police.
So why did Victorians vote for a Labor government?
It's been around a long time. I have no idea, but you can't find them.
Can't find who?
The people who voted for the Labor government.
Well, we'll ask the audience. I bet there are people listening right now who probably voted for Labor. So,
I've got no doubt.
So somebody voted for Labor in the state of Victoria. Somebody voted for Labor nationally.
I understand that, but look at all those people now who are looking at the Pauline Hansons and the people outside of Labor now.
But then we're going at this stage. Then we're only going to have the choice, presumably, between Labor and Pauline Hanson, because what we know is the Liberal Party, both nationally and certainly in the state of Victoria, is piss weak.
Oh, it's terrible.
And so we don't have a really strong, tough, effective opposition.
No, we don't.
And we're praying for the rise. The best we're going to do as a nation is get the rise of Pauline Hanson, One Notion.
Yeah. Politics is in a mess in this country, full stop.
Think?
It's in a massive mess.
Think?
We had Brad Batten. I thought Brad Batten was heading in the right direction for the Liberals. I thought he was, ex-cop. I just thought he was talking the right game.
Did you know Brad?
No, I did not, no. But I thought he was talking the right game and he was heading in the right direction. All of a sudden, bang, slaughtered.
Yeah.
Jess Wilson sits here and chats and doesn't really say what they're doing. No one says what they're doing at all.
Australia's been in debt to foreign powers, Tony and Roger. First, we're in debt to England, post-World War II, and the United States of America bought, or rather took over as the loan broker, and the bulk of Australian debt was increasingly... Oh, it's up there. Sorry. I didn't realise you put it in the middle. Thank you. Increasingly debt to the United States interest. We also continue to be in debt to British banks and a range of European multinational transitional interests, says Jan. Thank you. Well, I think that's a given. And then people like Shane, for example, have ideas about, well, who do we owe it to? Who do we owe it to? And then there's all conspiracy theories around that.
Yeah, I understand. Just going back to the Labor thing and the people that voted for it, and I know we can't capture it, and I don't really want to capture it now, but the thing is, how many people voted Labor in the last election that will definitely vote Labor again in this election?
In this coming state election?
In the coming state election. How many people would? Because I think that's the point now. I think people have watched us, because was Jacinta Allen voted in?
So... No, because she took over from Dan. But that's democracy, though. I don't have a problem with that. That's democracy.
Yes, I understand that. But I wonder how many people that voted for Labor before will vote for Labor again with her in the head. I think she'll roll in the next few weeks.
Is it not a case, Rog, of be very careful for what you wish?
I totally agree with that.
Do we know that if there was a change of government in Victoria, for example, and for whatever reason, all of a sudden the Liberal Party jumped up and won the next state election? Unlikely, but they might.
Damn. Like, really, that would be just... don't get me wrong.
So you reckon it would be infinitely better than the situation which we have now, and yet they seem pretty powerless at the moment.
They're toothless tigers.
They've just knocked somebody else out of their upper house.
Exactly.
The pre-selection.
Yeah, they can't help themselves.
I mean, it looks
the unrest.
messy.
It looks messy from the outside to the public, and I don't think there's any way they can arrest that.
G'day, come and join us. Roger Sutherland is here from a healthy shift. For those that are just waking up for the first time, Rog is regular contributor to the program, of course, a veteran law enforcement officer. How many decades?
4 decades.
Thank you. He these days coaches a lot of for shift workers in particular. And you and I have a lot of conversations on the air about that, about how to survive in that industry. Have a look at ahealthyshift.com. There's lots of various resources there for you to have a look at. Instagram, A Healthy Shift, and A Healthy Shift podcast, which is going along beautifully.
It is.
Vince, we'll come to you in just a tick. One of the things, can I just deal with a couple of these texts and then we'll talk about it. Federal Labor Party only got 37% of the primary vote due to preferential votes not to govern. Don't vote according to party, how to vote cards, your vote, not parties. Look, that's democracy. I mean, people keep telling me that.
I know, but people
democracy.
are confused by it because it's a very convoluted system. You don't just go in and go, I'm voting for Tony McManus or I'm voting for Roger Sutherland, because the way the voting is structured, preferential votes go, and people are unaware of that.
Preferential voting system.
Yeah, but you're aware of it. A lot of people, the common gen pop, are not aware of that. They go in and they just put the numbers.
That dismisses that suggests that there are sufficient people in numbers who just don't care enough to give it any greater consideration.
100% there is.
But is it
100%?
So what's the better version of that? How do we provide ourselves a better version for that to get the outcome that you say many would want? How do you dismantle it?
I've got no idea how you dismantle it, but we need education. We need education on where does your preference vote go. People have got to understand it's not just that you're voting for Liberal or Labor. You need to understand where number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where they all end up, because that is the key.
Safe to say, every person employed in a major government construction project, Tony and Roger, and likely their immediate families will vote Labor.
They will.
They want to assure high wages guaranteed. That could be as high as 500,000 votes or 10%. Hard to lose it from there.
And that's 100% the problem.
And I've been having people have a crack at me, which is great. G'day, Tony. Sounds like you don't think being increasing debt is a problem. I'll use the analogy. You owing, say, $200,000 in your house, which the bank has called in for the money, and you must pay it back. What happens to you and your family next? Unfortunately, many families are in this position. It's getting worse. Some people are borrowing and spending on meaningless things, while others use the money to just get by in life. Tom. Yeah, well, I don't know how to respond to that. I guess if anybody is in debt, I mean, the biggest debt that you have usually is your house and or a car quite often, isn't it?
Yes, but then you don't go off, although do people go off and then put a holiday on debt and then go and buy another holiday house. And then, this is what the perception is, this is what the government's doing. Even though we're in up to our absolute ears and drowning in debt, why are we then going off and just investing, not even investing, just putting money hand over fist into a whole new area?
You say, and I think in fairness, I think you're probably right, there's evidence for that, that given this climate in which we live, whether it be to do with debt, which is a major issue for many, the climate of the world at the moment probably presents challenges. But then how do you get this so-called me time? What's the time that you have? What is the notion? What are you doing for me time, and how important is it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people use this term me time. I just need some me time. And what do? We pick up our phone or we plonk on the couch, pick up the remote control and we're watching TV. And what we're doing is we're just adding a lot more stimuli into our system. I just wanted to talk about a situation that's happened to me in the last week. I swim. I swim 5 days a week and I swim 30 laps.
And you'll be leaving here and going for a swim.
And as soon as I leave here, I'll be going for a swim this morning as well. Now, I find it very calming, very relaxing. Now, during the week, I was swimming and I felt this incredible wave of emotion come over me and I'll let go. I had to stop swimming, right? I'm dealing with some really significant stress in the background in my life at the moment.
Were you surprised by that?
Well, I was aware of what was happening, only because I am a breathwork facilitator myself as well. So I was aware of exactly what was going on. And what was happening was my body felt safe to let go, right? So now I know this is going to sound a bit happy clapper, but what happens is in our life today, what we do is we are constantly stimulated by what we're looking at. We're picking up our phone. It's the text messages. It's the phone calls. It's put the TV on. Oh, what's happening on social media? What's Jenny doing? It's the stress from work. And what happens is our body never gets a chance to actually relax and let go of all those loops. We move from one thing to the next over and over and over again, and we never get to just actually relax. Now, when I get in the pool, what haven't I got? My phone. What haven't I got? Noise. What haven't I got? No TV, no radio, no music, no nothing. It's me versus the black line. And what happens is because of that regular breathing pattern and the pressure of the water around the body, what actually happens is your body feels safe and it opens those loops and it lets that emotion actually go. And then you get this real calm sensation over you afterwards. What we do in society today is when we are dealing with stresses, we busy ourselves with more stresses. So how many times do we find in our life at the moment, what we do is we get up, we check our phone, we're on our way to work, we're listening to the radio, we're check the phone again.
Nobody's forcing us to do that, though.
No, but what we've done is we've got addicted to it. Now, Meta have had to settle.
It's before the courts.
It's before the courts because their platforms have become so addictive. It refreshes. We don't realise it is actually blunting our dopamine. And this is why what happens is people now, because they're looking at their phones all the time, they need more and more and more stimuli just to survive. Just to survive, they need more stimuli. So the more and more we add, the more we're stressing our nervous system.
133693. We'll take some calls. Vince in Keilor, good morning.
A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At A Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their well-being on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women in shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning to you.
I wanted to say, I heard that caller previously, he was talking about needing to get rid of that ideology. Well, I think that's nonsense. I don't think it's got anything to do with that particular ideology or any other ideology. I think that the problem here is that inconsistent, non-transparent leadership by those in government has resulted in what, not a loss of speech, but a chilling effect. The threshold, the boundary of limitation in terms of free speech has become inconsistently policed, and so we don't really know where the threshold is, and so that's creating stress. And I think that sort of gets onto what Roger was talking about before. If you've got, I think when something changes, something you're not used to, and you don't know where that threshold is, you're on constant vigilance mode.
Hypervigilance.
So stressed.
Hypervigilance. Yep.
So I think that sort of leans into what Roger's talking about too.
100%. And the other thing, can I just raise with you as well, what's become your new normal? We are now accepting of so much that we would never have accepted going back 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Every day when we turn the news on and the Premier stands there and tells us something, we go, it doesn't surprise me at all. Every time we turn the news on, I'm not surprised at all. What has become our new normal? I think this is a massive problem for what's become our new normal.
So, Vince, it's a great call, and I thank you for your contribution to the program. What's the difference between the news that the late, great Brian Naylor was delivering going back 25, 30 years ago and the so-called turning on and watching the news today, for those that actually turn on and watch the news? And nowhere near as many do that now as they did 25 or 30 years ago with Brian.
Do you believe what you're watching on the TV half the time?
Well,
or do you think it's a manufactured agenda?
Well,
I do. I don't watch. I just had that conversation with you off air. We don't turn our television on at all.
Because you think the news is manufactured.
I think they just push a certain agenda to us as to what they want us to believe and see. COVID showed us this time very clearly. It showed us it just made us so excited on certain, or terrified us.
Well,
and, everyone,
look, I get that a lot of it's not particularly palatable, and you see time after time after time of a tobacco shop burning.
It's not just the tobacco shop burning.
But you can't ignore it.
But it's the organised crime that's behind the tobacco shop burning that's just been allowed to just run rampant.
Australia overnight. I guess the question that we've asked is,
what do you do for me time?
For me time, and so you're making the assertion that many are just consumed by the cycle, consumed by addictions associated with certainly the phone, and what else?
I'll give you an example of how bad your nervous system is. What I want you to do, everybody that's listening, everybody. What I want you to do today, when you get home from work, is I want you to sit and face a white wall and just stare at it for 10 minutes and tell me how long you'll last.
But that's a bit like meditation. It takes you a little while to get your head around the idea of meditating.
No, we're just going to focus on the breath.
Breathing.
We're just going to focus on the breath. I'll show you. I'm telling you. See, you say, but that's just meditating. I can't do that. I can't quieten my mind. And I've made my point.
Very quickly, a couple of texts here. These days, media keep focusing on things like the constant protest creating anger for viewers. So that's the intention.
Yes.
Is that right? You have the choice of not watching us, I guess.
Yep, totally.
I think, Tony, this is about you. 100% the mark of the media push exactly the agenda they want us to believe. Regards, Razor. So you feel that is the same too, that part of the cycle is about. So if you pick up the paper, you reckon that that headline there is contrived?
Absolutely.
To make us feel agitated.
Yep.
Tommy, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mac and Roger. How are you, lads?
Good morning.
Yeah, Roger, I couldn't agree more with you, mate. It's fantastic how someone's actually saying it. I just wish you were saying it, say, at 9 o'clock during the day. The news media, they ask questions, and as soon as they put any pressure on the government or anyone up there speaking, they kind of go to water. And
it's blatantly obvious, isn't it?
Oh, it's a disgrace. We're not stupid out here.
No, we're
Honestly,
not. I agree.
Some of us know what's going on. And they just push their agenda constantly. And what annoys me mostly is as soon as they get voted out in, say, 4, 5, 6 years' time, they turn it all the way round and then they get a cushy job running a hospital or working in the tunnels or something like that.
Yep.
Martin Pakula running the GP. What's his MO to actually do that type of stuff? We're not idiots. But
Jerome Weimar is a classic example of that.
Oh, 100%. That is, you've hit the nail on the head there. He's had the best, cushiest jobs over the last 10 years. And like you said, the pushing the agenda of the COVID, and I think that opened up a lot of people's eyes.
It did.
Saying
It did indeed.
they're just doing one way.
Whether we wanted to
Thank you very
believe...
much.
No worries,
Good on
Tommy.
you,
Whether
Tommy.
we wanted
Thank
to
you.
believe conspiracy or not, it opened people's eyes to get them to start questioning. I think if people...
But we should have always question. But part of a training as a journalist in particular is to question everything. If I question people on the program, for example, I'll say, well, why do you think like that? I'll get 30 really vicious texts asking, how dare you ask that question? Saying, how dare you ask that question?
Yeah, but there's also another 30 people that go, yes, Tony, well done, great question. You know, I believe it's very, very balanced. The thing is, I've heard people interviewed on TV and radio, like COVID showed. Like Daniel Andrews was
COVID
literally...
was a dreadful time, Roger.
It set an agenda for where we're at today. Have a look at the Premier in her press conferences today and how she speaks down to people. And then, like, Daniel Andrews was picking who was allowed to be actually at the interviews and who wasn't allowed to be there, who was allowed to ask questions, what questions were going to be asked. We didn't realise just how much was manufactured in the background. And I believe that our Premier's doing much the same today with a lot of things that are actually occurring. Like the question that was asked, you will withdraw that, and the arrogance of it was horrendous. I thought it was horrendous.
Roger, we've run out of time. Just a quick call. Brendan, Gippsland, good morning.
Yeah, how are you, boys? Hallelujah. Fantastic. It's about time someone come out and spoke the truth. It's just so good to hear.
Thanks, Brendan.
This agenda is just is out of control. The oil prices, the fuel prices is all planned. It's they want to destroy Australia.
Well, I've got to explore that a bit further. I can't see it, but obviously...
Do you believe you're being lied to by the media?
No.
Oh my God!
No.
You don't believe you're being lied to by the politicians?
No.
Okay, that really surprises me.
Brendan, because I love the idea of democracy, whilst it's not perfect. Thanks, Rog.
No worries. Thank
See you,
you.
mate. See you in a couple of weeks' time.
You will
will come back, are you sure?
I hope so.
I'm Tony Mack. For all we know, we may never meet again. May our hands only ever be held out in friendship, never in want.